Tim Brasher, welcome to Coffee Chats.
Thank you.
Mate, thanks for fitting me in your lunch break.
Yeah.
You've eaten already, have you? Or you've had a coffee, or?
I have coffee. I'll save my next coffee for a little bit later.
At least half an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Mate, what do you do these days?
I've just started a new job with Toro, which is sports fields, golf courses, cutting equipment,
Nice.
construction equipment. So I'm based in New South Wales and Victoria, sales manager for sports fields and construction.
Got it, mate. Bit of a different page from maybe 20 years ago.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I'd rather be playing football.
Would you?
Much easier gig. You'd turn up, train hard, and hang with your mates and go home.
Mate, you still look fit too. You'd probably fit right back in too with an orange and black jumper, I reckon.
Yeah, don't worry. If the body could do it, I'd be out there. It's not the fitness level. It's the it's brain and the body that do it. I can't quite get positions I used to, and I'm not sure I'd run as hard at the line as I used to either. I'd find a way to get around them or do something.
I bet. It'd probably take a month to recover too, do you think?
Absolutely.
So do you still, does it feel like yesterday you were playing, or does it feel like a long time ago?
Well, it doesn't feel like yesterday. It certainly doesn't feel like, what is it now? It's 15 years ago. It doesn't feel like 15 years, but it does feel like, at least 8 or 9 years ago. But, it was so much fun, and I've done a fair few things since, with the caddying and being overseas for 6 years. So it didn't go as fast as it would if I'd just gone into a mundane job doing the same thing day in, day out. But having the ability to travel it and be in a different city pretty much every week with the caddying, it certainly felt like the years went long.
Yeah, got it. And do you still run around? Do you play any touch footy or anything like that?
No, between my knee and my lower back, I'll have one game of touch, and I said it takes me a month to get out of the touch game.
It'd be all over.
I'll do the odd 5K run as far as I go.
Yeah.
Still a decent pace and go to the gym. So I like my weights, and I'll do cardio that's obviously no impact.
Let's talk golf, mate. How did you get into the caddying thing? Were you one of those sports people that could have been a lead at any sport? Rugby league, golf, soccer. Were you always a good golfer?
Well, I didn't start golfing until I was late teens. So
okay.
No, I wasn't. I'm a better golfer now. I'm playing for 3 at the moment. I've been to scratch, but that was just obviously just through practice. So I had after caddying or during caddying, I got some of the caddies and a couple of golfers. You get some tips off them, and
exactly.
My golf game definitely got better, and watching so many great shots. But I think most athletes, in endurance sports, hand-eye sports, I think they could have transferred if they'd started at an early enough age. I think an athlete's an athlete. I think I played rugby league, but who knows if I started at under 6s playing soccer or playing something else, would that have been different? Would I have been great at that sport? Not sure, but I think a lot of players would have. But golf, I just loved golf. Got to do it when I was playing on our Wednesday day off. Back in the day, we had the Wednesday day off, and I loved playing. And we, playing for 50 cents a skin, and I hated losing money, so I had to get better.
Exactly. And how did you find yourself caddying for the likes of, tell me if I'm wrong, Craig Parry and guys like that? Is that right?
Yeah. Paz was the last guy I caddied for.
Wow.
Terry Price got me into it. So I knew Pricey through his love for rugby league. He's a staunch Queenslander. I don't know why he hooked up with the New South Wales boy. But no, we got
put you off.
Yeah, we get on really well, and I think he was just talking to a friend of mine, and my name must have came up, and he said, "Tell Brasher to give me a call."
Nice.
He'd just got on the European tour, and I was living in Canada. I had a bar over there, and just living the good life. And I thought, why not? I love my golf. So I did the European tour for that year in '04, and he had his best year ever. I think we came 50th in the money, and
all because of you, I'm sure.
Absolutely. I think he just didn't want a caddy. I think we just talked footy and girls the whole time around. So it was a pretty easy conversation.
Nice.
But he did teach me a lot, and he certainly helped my caddying later on. But I got to see the world. Like, we'll see all around Europe, places that I've never been before, like Moscow and down the Canary Islands off Morocco. So like the places and times I had and places I saw was amazing. And the crazy thing is I got paid to do it.
Mm. Did you have a family then, Tim, or were you still a single man? Or?
No, I was totally single.
Yeah, right. Good time to do it, hey?
Oh, it was great.
Yeah, okay. What's the hardest part of being a caddy for a professional golfer?
The hardest part for caddying, I think, is the sight part. You've really got to know your guy. Getting a yardage and your advice on shots. He's only going to ask you when he's in a pickle or massive. But the hardest part is definitely getting around the psych and saying the right thing at the right time, knowing what your guy will make him react in a certain way. And but you're basically a psychologist.
Why do you think he'd get an ex-NRL star to be his caddy?
He didn't like caddies. Didn't like being told what to do by a caddy.
He just wanted a mate.
He just wanted, absolutely. I think Price just wanted a mate. And obviously I got better as a caddy as we went on, and we just enjoyed ourselves out there. Yeah, and he was playing great golf, and that certainly helps. I tell you what, a good day on the golf course is awesome. Yeah. A bad day, you can just crawl into a hole.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. There's a lot to be said for not overthinking stuff, right? So getting you along to help would have just been part of that.
They call it staying in the moment. So, don't get ahead of yourself. As soon as you start getting ahead of yourself, I know myself, I play off 3 and I come anywhere near going under par and I start thinking and choking and I'm playing for nothing.
50 cents.
Exactly. You imagine playing for your livelihood, and there's so many guys out there that, we see the guys on TV that are making plenty of money. There's plenty of guys out there making nothing.
Mm. Yeah, I'm sure. Do you think playing rugby league, there's a similar argument there? And what I mean to that is just go out and have fun? Absolutely. When I was captain of the teams I captained, which was Tigers, South and Cowboys, one of the last things I always said to the boys, I said, let's have some fun, boys, as we're walking out, as we're about to go out. Because the bottom line is, if you're having fun in this game, you're winning. Mm. I don't know who you are, but if you're losing, you're not having fun. So the thing is, if we had that in our mind that we're out there having a bit of fun, and when you played footy as a kid, you went out there to play fun, and to have fun and win, obviously. But you didn't have the pressures, and you just enjoyed yourself. Exactly.
So I just thought I'd just simplify and bring it back down to what it is and why we started this game, and that was to have fun. Did you like captaining your teams? Yeah, I loved it. I was a captain pretty much from under 7s onwards, and enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the role. You played under some of the best captains rugby league's ever seen, guys like Wayne Pearce and whatnot. Who would be one of the leaders that stands out when you were playing? Oh, definitely Wayne Pearce. When I first came in, an idol of mine to come in and just to see the way that he captained, and he captained from leadership, but he also captained from respect. And I think that was great to see in my first 2 years of first grade. Then throughout the time, I had some great captains in rep football. Laurie Daly, Brad Fittler, and really, even at Balmain, Benny and Ciro took over after junior, and they were very similar. All Tigers too, Tim. Yeah, absolutely. And the biggest thing, I suppose, is that all these guys have learned the respect of their peers, and that's the main thing. You can't be a captain if you don't have respect of your peers, and that's the main thing. Was to lead by example. I've got a theory that Queensland's had a great run for the last 10, 11 years. Pretty much once you stopped playing State of Origin, New South Wales started going downhill. Would you agree that was the reason why? We've only won 2 series in 17 years since I stopped, so absolutely.
The numbers don't lie, mate.
You're so wise, I tell you.
Just get your back. I reckon we'll tell Loza.
Who does your research? He's on fire.
Nice. Earlier you were talking about, elite players could have played soccer, league, just whatever they fell into. Did you fall into league? Like, was that something your parents got you into? Or?
My dad just asked me a question. I think I actually remember it. I lived in Concord in Sydney, and I was about 6, and he said, "You want to play any sport next year, like soccer or football?" And footy was on TV, so we're like, "Football!" And my brother. So we played footy the next year. I had to play a year up because I was only 6, 7. So I played first year. I got some photos I'm looking at. I don't think I was really into it. I was looking at a bit starry-eyed and
playing with the grass.
Playing the grass. But next year I got it. I scored a bunch of tries the next year and loved it. So.
When did you get that you were going to be good?
Yeah, I think probably by about under 9s. Everyone's, I got a couple of write-ups in the paper, rifle paper, and I think I scored like 108 tries in a year or something. So it was, I think it's still a record.
That was a giveaway.
Yeah, I think it's still a record. So
wow.
Yeah, I kind of had an idea. Well, you have an idea that you're in the top echelon of players at that level, but you're not really thinking about in under 9s. You're thinking, you love to play that, but then you watch it. I used to go and watch West play Lincoln Oval, sit on that bike track, and the big thuds and the big hits. I was scared of it.
Yeah,
I thought my game was great. It was good. It didn't hurt me, but you sit there and watch those guys and you go, how do they do that?
Exactly.
But obviously the years of training, the years of playing,
your
body develops and you get there.
Mm. Who was the 1 or 2 guys that you looked up to when you were growing up? Aspired to be.
I was definitely a massive Tommy Rodonigus fan.
Tommy?
Yeah, Tommy, Les Boyd. I was a West supporter, so
of course.
Yeah, all the West boys. And then obviously as I got closer to playing through the early 90s, mid 90s, it was guys like Wayne Pearce, Wally, Brett Kenny for sure.
Mm.
So it was definitely and one of the best things was obviously to be in a team with a lot of the guys I watched play against, guys like Wally and Brett Kenny and have them as guys, who I can talk to and who are mates now. That's pretty cool.
And correct me if I'm wrong. When you started playing in that top level, you were still a teenager. Is that right?
Yeah, I was in high school.
Yeah,
I played the '89 grand final from high school.
Wow.
I'm sure I should have been studying that day, but anyway.
And I don't want to talk about those grand finals. I remember being a kid, and I don't know. I was that young that I thought it was my fault that the Tigers had lost, because my dad was he's passed away now, but my father was a massive Tigers fan, and he was obviously devastated. And as a 9, 10-year-old, I thought I had done that.
Well, maybe it was you. You're going to dress there. I'm going to get called block and Cyril are coming over tomorrow.
Yeah, mate, I apologise. It was all my fault.
God damn it.
And okay, so speaking of Tommy had some things to say on the Footy Show the other week. I'm not sure if you caught those, but it was talking about some of the players these days, specifically someone like Jared Hayne and maybe the heart that he hasn't been showing as much of in the last season or two. What's your thoughts? Feel free to speak specifically about someone like Jared Hayne, but what's your thoughts on the players' passion versus back in the 80s and 90s?
Oh, geez, I don't think you can get there without the passion. But, I think with someone like Jared, and I look at where he's changed and moved around, where is his heart? Is it in his bank balance? And that's where it could be an issue. And I think that's probably the issue more than heart to play footy. They still love footy, obviously, but is he playing for the right reasons? That's my thoughts on that. Because you don't get there if you don't have passion, you don't have heart. But it can diminish over time, especially when you're getting great contracts. And what's he looking for? It's my thing. It's like moved around a lot. Is he happy where he is? So that's more to the point than the heart. I think if he finds what he wants and is passionate again. Yeah, the heart's there. But I don't know. Without knowing the full story with Jared and the club and the old coach, who knows?
Okay. What did you think of Neil Henry getting the axe?
Yeah, there's always going to be a scapegoat somewhere. It's going to be a player. It's going to be.
It always seems to be the coach, though.
Well, in my day, you couldn't do that. The player would be kicked in the butt and see you later.
Yeah.
So, no, definitely the players have the control these days. But just you look at schools these days, teachers have no control.
Yeah.
Kids, I know my rights. You can't do that.
And the teacher's out the door.
We get picked up by our sideburns and kicked in the butt.
Okay. And look, speaking of big money, you were right there in the Super League season.
Fiasco.
I think they had a season. What's that?
Yeah, the fiasco of Super League.
The fiasco, that's the word I was looking for.
The circus, more the circus, actually. It's more a circus.
Do you think that was a similar time where people were thinking of dollars and passion became a distant second?
Yeah, some were, absolutely. Some were definitely thinking of dollars, and some got some really great dollars. I did well. When it all washed up, I obviously didn't do as well as some after I found out. It would have been nice to... but in saying that, I look at it and think, we need it as rugby league players. I think we're underpaid big time. If you look at the salaries then compared to now, then you look at what it costs for the price of a house. Then it was still the best era for payments. Until someone gets paid $5 million, they really haven't caught up because of the inflation. So. Really, we're lucky, we're fortunate, but I think it needed to happen. We needed to be respected because we had the hierarchy driving around in Mercedes-Benz at Phillip Street, New South Wales Rugby League, and I'm driving a Ford Medial, playing for Australia. I don't know if it was right, but you see what I mean. Like I think we needed that to happen. It hurt the game because the game was definitely at its heights in that late 80s, early 90s. But in saying that, it certainly changed the way the players were looked at, and obviously, we obviously got a little bit more voice as well through that, and through that, it's now progressed to where I suppose the players probably have too much say. But I really think that in the end, I wish we had a better players association back then. Of course, we might have got probably a few other things go our way, but it evolved in the end, and that's how things happen. But I think it had to happen.
Yeah, okay.
The league thing, and people say it was a free for all, but it wasn't quite a free for all. I think more of the maybe guys like Gus Gild and Bobby Poulton, who were handing out the cash. Maybe they were having a free for all, but we really weren't. We were just trying to do what's best for us and our teams.
Got it. Where do you think rugby league in this country is heading in the next 10, 20, 30 years? Are we on the right track compared to other sports?
Yeah, I'll tell you the truth. Obviously, I think we're on the right track compared to rugby union anyway. But
sure.
Which is good to see that we've gone the right way there. But I really don't know enough about the runnings of the rugby league and that's to really comment. On that as well as I could, but
no. But as a fan, so what you see compared to say soccer in Australia or netball or cricket. I mean, 2020 cricket from a fan myself in the last couple of years has just skyrocketed. There's more females watching. There's more kids watching. There's more kids playing.
I suppose you're right there. I definitely think in the country areas it's dying off a little bit. I think they need to really look at that. Country football, it was the lowest numbers in years. Fan base, it's hard when you got every game live on TV. And, I know myself, I've got a couple of little kids, and until they're old enough to want to go to the football, I'm not going to go. I'm going to sit there and watch it on TV if the wife is listening.
That's a separate issue, mate.
Yeah. I I think they need to work something out so people get to see it live. Because I know myself, in any sporting event in the world, there's nothing better than seeing it live.
Oh, 100%.
So hopefully they work that out. And you're probably right; it has diminished a bit to other sports. And soccer, it's a world game. It's the biggest sport in the world. I'm surprised they aren't as bigger than they are already in Australia, but they are certainly growing. And for kids, and that's the hardest thing I think with rugby league. It's contact sport. As a kid, when your parents these days are a bit more wary about their kids.
That's right. Well, not every kid's scoring 108 tries a season, Tim. That's the problem.
But the good thing there was I wasn't getting touched. So
right.
my parents weren't scared. Just run around them.
That's right. You won't get a broken arm.
I think we played full field back then, so if you had a bit of pace, it didn't matter.
You were home.
So, I think, definitely the contact part of it is certainly hurting as well. But kids are going to soccer.
Yeah, sure.
But, I'm not in the driving seat there. I'm not sure what they should do, but I'm sure they'll be aware of the issues, and they'll be looking at fixing it up and making it as strong as it ever was.
Yeah, well, let's hope so for the game's sake.
Absolutely.
You mentioned your kids before. Two boys, is it?
No, boy and a girl.
Boy and a girl.
Girl first. She's the old one.
And how old's your boy?
I've got 4, almost 5 and almost 3.
5 and a 3-year-old boys.
No, girl.
Sorry.
5.
And the boy's 3. Got it.
3,
Apologies.
Yeah.
What's your 3-year-old's name?
Harrison. So
Harrison. Were you a Star Wars fan by any chance?
Is he a Star Wars fan?
No, were you? Is that why you got...
No. We just liked it. Yeah, that was we had that name picked when we had the first child. We weren't quite sure what was coming out, so we kind of stuck with Harry. Like he suits Harry.
Yeah, got it. And you don't see a lot of Harrys these days.
No, there's actually a few up here.
Is it?
You get a playground here. It's Harry and who knows my kid?
Yeah. Well, my son's Noah, and I just hear Noah's everywhere.
Yeah,
wherever I go.
And Noah was, how old is he?
Nearly 14.
Yeah, Noah. I'm going to say I got a friend who had a Noah as well, about the same age.
Yeah.
They go through cycles, like you'll hear 1,000 of the same name.
That's right.
In one period, and 5 years later, there's another name that everyone's happy with.
It's the popular name for the season.
Absolutely.
Mate, speaking of Harry, would you like him to go down the same road as you, sport-wise, or are you one of those parents that just wants him to do what makes him happy?
I really don't care what he does, as long as he's a good person, and obviously gets an education and finds a path, whether it be in business, whether it be whatever he wants to do, as long as he's in a place where he's looking after himself and his family and happy. Does
he show the skills though?
The daughter does more than.
Oh, true.
It's weird. We've got my daughter's way more me, and my son's way more my wife. So my wife, good endurance, so she's a bit of a plotter. So I reckon Harry might be long distance kind of thing. but in saying that, her brothers are quite big guys. Like not fat, but just like big bone,
big solid guys.
So I think Harry might be a bit big for me. I think by the time he's about 14, I'm in trouble. My daughter's definitely she's got the little, she can run, she's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, that's great, mate. I'd like to talk to you about sports people and maybe where their head goes post sporting career. Yep. So my question is, at what point did you think I need to start planning for my retirement from sport? And it's a funny word, retirement from sport, because you're in were you 30 when you retired?
31.
31, right? So you're still a kid.
I played a bit of rugby over in the Bath so 32 over there. So 32 when I stopped playing.
Got it. And that's still relatively young, right?
Yeah, I would have played a couple more years. I did my knee in at Cowboys, and that stopped me from playing.
It was all downhill from there, yeah. And so, retiring from something in your 30s, I think is a quite unique situation. Did you plan for the life after footy?
Oh, I didn't plan for it. I was just going to take it as it goes. What I did plan for was, I suppose I planned in the way that I wanted to get to a point where My call was, and it was myself and Brad Fittler, when Super League happened, our call was, when we retire, we want to do what we want to do, not what we have to do.
Mm.
And we pretty much do that. We've both done all right. And, I think I was in my second year at Balmain, and I think Gary Jack was trying to sell me life insurance. And, he said, mate, what do you got in the bank? I said, I've got this much. And he goes, mate, buy property. And Danny Lice did the same thing. So I started buying property.
And you wouldn't have been 20 then?
I was 21 on my first
Wow.
house. Yeah. So like that was great advice, you know.
Yeah.
If I'd been in the Balmain team 5 years later, no one would have given me that advice. So I got really lucky that I came into it. It was such a great team. One, to enhance my playing ability and being a great team and legends, and also for what they gave me in life skills.
Outside of sport. Do you think the kids coming in these days, the 18, 19, 20-year-olds, are getting that same advice?
They're certainly coming in a bit more gung-ho and thinking, you know, they're in already, they're ready to play. Then also not thinking, but it depends on the individual. Some people are spenders, some people aren't spenders. You know, I don't remember when Super League happened. Half the dudes would come out with brand new flashed big up BMWs, and they're like, you know, I just put mine into property.
Yeah,
so it's like it's your priorities at the time, and like I was comfortable. I didn't need a big flash car. I think. I think they get better advice now. They certainly get financial planners come in and talk to them. I think they're more aware of, because it's been rammed down them that, you know, your career is so short. So they definitely, it's all there for them. All the information is there, and they certainly get taught it. They all have to do a course before they hit first grade in the 20s. Otherwise, they can't play.
And that's an NRL policy, isn't it?
That's great. It's fantastic.
It really is.
I really wish I'd done something, especially in those first years when I training in the afternoon. I could have definitely gone to university. But,
what sort of course would you have done, Tim?
I would have been an accountant all day.
Oh, true.
Well, I went for 2 weeks to an accountant course.
You did 2 weeks?
I turned up the second week, and the girl next to me was wearing my jersey, number 3 Balmain jersey, and the teacher had Para to win on the board. So I said, I'm out of here.
Hang on. So you started an accountancy degree, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
And the girl sitting next to you had your jersey on?
My jersey on.
And you were still playing at this point?
Oh, yeah. This is 1990.
What did she do?
I don't know. I was freaked.
Did she talk to you?
I think she tried to.
Oh, wow. That would have been surreal.
I was scared.
That's great.
I didn't do that, but I kind of wish I did in the end, because, you know, you finish. I finished, and I'm not sure you asked me this question, is that when I finished, I just wanted to get away from football.
Yeah.
I was done playing football, and I just wanted to get away, so I just went over to LA with a one-way ticket to eventually go to England. I had ancestry in England, so before I left, I just got that 2-year ancestry visa so I could work if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I had no plan. I had 0 plans. I was kind of half chasing a girl I met over in Canada, so I was always going to go up there.
Yeah.
And I did 3 months backpacking around the west of the US, down to Mexico. I bought a car in LA. I'll beat up $4,000 Jeep. It was fantastic. Kept that for 3 years. Drove to Canada, and up in Canada with a friend of a friend, and he ran a big bar in town. I worked in a big bar, and then we bought our own bar.
Yeah.
Had that, and I caddied. So things just fell in place. I just had no plan.
Yeah.
And that was me. I just wanted to be in Brasher again, not the footballer.
And I mean, that's a great story, right? And, you know, it's looking back in hindsight, it's a wonderful thing, and you would have made some great memories in that time in the old cheap Jeep. But even like parking money to the side for a second, you've gone from, as you said, this girl at the uni was wearing your jersey, so you were a big personality in this country, and then you stopped being that guy.
Yep.
Was that a struggle?
I think what was hard was, like, you know, you're way by yourself, and I was by myself, and you had to get to know people. So I'd go to a hostel.
And they wouldn't have known you, right?
No one. That was great. That was the best part about it. But it was also the hardest part about it because I had to start conversation again. And, I was used to, 15 years of people coming up, hey, Brasher, how you doing? How you feeling? So I had to be me again. I had to be, all right. So at times I had tough it out. I sat in nightclubs just drinking and just looking around, just trying to find someone to talk to and just think, and, some dude would say hi or some girl would say hi. So it was really, it made me be me again. I think I needed it. I really needed it to just get out of this, Tim Brasher thing.
Yeah.
It was cool. It's not for everyone. There was times I got lonely. I got bunk bed with three guys snoring. And I remember in Denver, Colorado, at 4 a.m. this guy was snoring like crazy. So I just went for a walk and ended up going to the gym at 4 in the morning, just do something.
Wow.
But I really came out of my shell and really found myself again. I think that's probably why I haven't had too much of that post-sports depression. And saying that, people go, "Oh, do you get that?" I said, "Look, not a day goes by I don't wish I played again. It was such a great time in my life."
Yeah.
That was my job. Like now, you have a job. You got to go to work. You got to get certain targets, whatever. Make the odds to play.
That's
do
right.
Something you knew you're pretty good at, and you just got to turn up and train hard. That was easy.
That post-playing depression that you just mentioned, do you think that's warranted? Do you think that there are a lot of players that would go through that, both players that are well known and even the ones that are just on the fringe? They get to a point where they finish their career and they didn't have the the celebrity status that you had.
Yeah, I think both. I think everyone gets it. I don't think you can't get it. You came from doing something that you worked your whole life to do and to get to the top at. Even the ones that didn't get to the top, they still got there to first grade. That's the first goal.
Exactly.
You get to first grade. And then from there, it's all, if you get make rep footy, but you're still playing, the best level of football in the country. I think any sport, and like Olympians especially, they get it. Just you think of the training you do and the commitments you make and the sacrifice you make. Your friends, when I played footy, your friends go away for a camping weekend, you can't go. No matter what time, there's no time of the year you can go. Maybe 2 weeks over Christmas. That's always family. So you don't get to hang with your mates at all from school. So you pretty much just disconnect from them. There's definitely a downer, guaranteed a downer. And it's about how you, obviously as a person, what you put in place to make your life good from then on. But if you don't have an education, haven't invested well while you played, or your career was cut short, all of a sudden you're stuck with your option. Work for the council. I don't know. What do you do?
And there's only so many people that Channel 9 can take as announcers.
Well, you need to have some kind of addiction beforehand. But, it's. I think everyone gets it. I think it's different levels. Some people can handle it. Some can't. But I think we all get it. And it's like life in general. And it's like everything in life. Some people can have 2 drinks and go home. Some people can't. Some people can shut the party down. Some people can't. It's individual. How you react to it.
Yeah, got it. I know that you do go and chat with young players, and you go into clubs, and you've offered your advice from all the experience that you've had. But what would you say to someone that's maybe mid-career? They're not starting, and they've got a couple of years left. What would your advice be to those guys?
Find an interest, something you love to do
outside of footy.
Yeah, how you can help. Study about it. If you do love finance, go and get a finance degree. If you love, watching birds, really get into it. Get it going beforehand, so you can make it a job afterwards. Of course, then you'll go straight from, a job that's not really a job playing football to your next job, which is a passion as well. That it's not really a job because you love it. So that's my advice. Find something while you're playing footy, because you've got a bit of downtime and you're obviously getting paid okay. But while you're doing that, find something else that is really something you love to do, and turn that into somewhere where you can make money. If it's golf, you don't have to be a great golfer. You might want to be an administrator in golf. You might want to be a greenkeeper. There's a whole bunch of things, but I'd say that for sure.
Start to plant that seed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, got it. And really good advice, mate. Just lost my train of thought there. Sorry.
Like Terry Price out of 3 foot putt.
That's right. Could take me a while.
What do I do, Brash? Put it in the hole, Terry. Put it in the hole.
Exactly. Mates, we're about to hit the finals. Starts tonight. Who's your pick for the premiership this year? Can you go past Melbourne, do you think?
Very tough to go past Melbourne. I think they're just playing great footy. I'd say the dark horse, the Eels.
You like the Eels?
I just love the story as well. But I knew Brad when he was a kid, and the coach, and I remember his old man. His old man was more passionate than him.
Yeah, right.
Well, he pushed Brad to be. Brad was a good player, but didn't quite make it, and his dad would have been shattered. But to see his son as a coach, I just think he's got that little bit of X factor. Obviously, he worked with. Balmain down the Storm. So, I think the sneaky little Eels might slide their way in.
Mm. You play. We talked about leaders and captains before, but you played under some of the best coaches ever. Warren Ryan, is the first that comes to mind. Yeah. What's a piece of advice that one of your coaches gave you that's always stuck with you?
One of the best ones was actually Wayne Bennett. That was. When we go out in that field, just treat everything you do like it's game time. Mm. And that way you're not mucking around the field. So we're playing touch footy, and instead of throwing that crazy dumb pass and flick balls and having fun, we said just treat this warm-up game of touch. Don't pass if it's not on. Pass a good ball, And it made sense is that whenever you're on that field, don't disrespect the field.
Mm.
Just... It's switch on game on time. You be, the footballer when you're on the field. Don't be just, a clown. So I think that was great advice. So that way, even your warm up touch, you're not throwing that bad pass.
Exactly.
Take your touch, go again. So I like that advice.
Mm. Have you read Wayne's books?
No.
I've read his first one, and one thing that's always stuck with me is, a reporter asked him, do you get nervous on game day? On the weekend, and he said, well, anything that I could have told the boys or anything that I could have done when they're on the field, I can't do anymore. So there's no need for me to get nervous because anything that I could have told them or said or done is already in their heads.
Yeah,
and I always take that on board when I'm doing whatever I do. The preparation's the time to prepare and get emotional and passionate about that. But when you're out there doing the thing you do, then you just have to perform, right?
Yeah, well, what it is there's two things. There's nerves and there's being scared. Like, nerves and nerves. Everyone has nerves. If something doesn't mean anything to you, you won't get nervous, which means you shouldn't do that. It doesn't mean anything to you. Like people go, I don't get nervous in Origin. I said, you're killing me. I said, my knees would be hollow.
Alfie Langer used to throw up before every game.
Yeah,
I heard.
Of course he did. Yeah, he did. But if you're scared, if you're worried, that's different. That means you haven't prepared properly.
Mm.
So like what you're doing, your preparation there, you have questions. If you didn't have enough questions and you didn't do enough study about me, you'd be worried about what you're going to ask.
Exactly.
Like, you got enough questions there. And the same as preparation.
The nerves are still there, though, I must say.
Yeah. But you look at the golfer. I go back, golf is the most nerve-wracking sport ever. Coming down the stretch, or even the first tee shot, if you're worried about your preparation, and they got to prepare pretty hard, if you're worried about some part of your preparation, you get no chance.
Mm.
Whereas, if the only way someone wins with low preparation in golf is when they don't care at all, because they've made what's his name? What's his name? Oh, an Aussie golfer. Oh, come on, he was flying back to Australia, and from the East Coast, and he was coming back. coming back from the East Coast, and there's a tournament in Vegas, and he said, "Oh, well, just play one more. You know, I don't really care."
Yeah,
He didn't prepare. He thought, "Oh no, I'm just going to have anyone."
And he cleaned up.
Of course, he just had that mindset.
Yeah.
Which is
that's why Terry Price got you as his caddy, right?
Yeah, but you really can't do that in rugby league. But generally,
can't go to Vegas. No, you can't.
Well, you can't under prepare. Like if you you know,
you get found out pretty quick, right?
You do. But definitely, if you haven't prepared, you haven't prepared mentally. That's when you're scared, and that's when you're going to play like crap. You're going to have the worst game ever. But definitely nerves are good, and that's the difference between good rep players or good pressure players are the ones that can control those nerves.
Exactly.
But
they
can actually use them as a boost, as a bonus. Like it's like, I definitely went out there with nerves and hollow legs. I loved it. I was like a euphoric feeling, and I knew that you just give me the ball, get hit, take the first hit, who cares? And then it's game on. Rugby league, but I was pumped without falling apart. So and that's why I think we probably picked some wrong players in the New South Wales team at the moment, just because there's a few guys that obviously, when the going's good, they're fantastic because of that first game and a half. As soon as the pressure cooker came in, they started thinking, "Oh, we can win this." Yeah, they lost it. But they played like crap.
Was that an experience thing, Tim, or was that, like you say, the nerves took over?
No, it wasn't an experience. It was just guys that couldn't control their feelings, and you have to be able to do that.
Got it. These days, when do you get nervous or scared?
Coming home late when the wife's...
She's worse than any tackle from Sirenen or blocker or something.
Oh, yeah. No, nervous now. I'm not sure, to tell you the truth. I don't really...
What about in business? Do you have moments where you get a bit...
Oh, and again, I get nervous. Obviously, the public speaking side of things, you still get nervous, but as long as you've done your research. But I've just started a new job, and I'm not nervous, but I'm anxious. Until you learn the ropes of the business, it's especially where I'm into Toro machinery. I've got to learn about all these machines.
It must have been a big sidestep for you.
It cuts grass.
Yeah.
That's all.
What else do you want to know?
Yeah, that's a good grass cutter. But there's a bit of anxiousness there. But once you learn it, but it just becomes natural. And but in saying that, presenting, and being in front of your peers, that's always nerve-wracking. But
it certainly is. Yeah.
Do your homework, do your due diligence, and you'll come through.
As you say, you'll only be nervous, you won't be scared. It's a really good way of putting it.
They just say, "No, you shit."
Yeah. What's the next sort of 3 to 5 years hold for Tim Brasher?
Craziness with my kids. Hopefully doing really well with Toro. It's a fantastic company. I really, it's American. It's the mothership, America, over there, and it's been a fantastic start. There's a bunch of a good culture, and that's the main thing I joined Toro is the culture, and I like culture. And coming from that football environment, I'm so used to the team environment, and I'm glad I'm back in that team environment. I had 3 years at Dick Smith before they.
What was your role there?
I was commercial sales and financial services, so that was great. Loved that too because it was again team environment. But unfortunately, that went down. It's I'd say working hard, watching my kids grow up, and hopefully growing up into little respectful little kids, and then the Saturday sport's going to start in a year or two. So at the moment it's Friday afternoon. Athletics is about to start, which is going to kill me. Friday afternoon, it's beer o'clock. I've got to wait an extra hour and a half to have that beer.
Exactly.
So I don't drink during the week, so Friday afternoons
it's the time.
It's a nice little relaxing.
Nice reward. Yeah. Mate, you played obviously for the Tigers for many years. You then went to the Bunnies. You then played for the Cowboys. Are you a Tigers man now? Like, where does your heart lie?
Yeah, definitely Tigers. Didn't say that. Like, I remember coming back from overseas to watch the Tigers Cowboys grand final, and I was always a Tiger. I was there with the Tigers, but don't worry, if the Cowboys won, I was a Cowboy. But in saying that, the Bunnies won the other year, and I think there's photos of me on the pitch with Russell Crowe. I hadn't seen Russell since I'd left there.
Yeah, right.
And somehow I was in the elevator going downstairs after. I was up top watching it.
Yeah.
And what's his name? One of the legends there. Bob McCarthy was going down.
Yeah.
He said, "You coming downstairs to me?" I said, "Oh yeah, of course." Just followed him.
Why not?
Followed Bob, and next thing I'm on the pitch, and that photo went around the world. My friends in America were going, "What are you doing with Russell Crowe?"
Right next to Russell Crowe.
Our best mates and stuff.
In his next movie.
Yeah.
Had you had a few beers that day?
No, not too many actually. It was,
Okay.
We had one of my mates had our kids there, so we're yeah. But yeah, everyone was laughing. Like, "What are you doing on the pitch?"
Nice.
I'm a bunny, you know.
That's right, through and through. What?
Whoever wins out of those, I'm definitely a Tiger. But if any of the teams winning, I'm with them.
Yeah.
You played there.
I've got to ask. You mentioned Russell Crowe. Then, what was your most memorable experience with him?
Oh wow, there's a few. The Russell was single back then, so we went out all.
Did you have a few drinks with him?
Yeah, we had a few nights out.
Maybe don't tell those stories.
No, I can't tell those stories. He was I think he was a Relief Maximus a few times when we were out.
Oh, you're joking.
He'd bring up some stuff. But the biggest one was we're playing in Newcastle, and we're getting beat 30-0. The Johns boys were just having a picnic with us.
Mm.
And so Tucker Coleman's gone, guys, Russell wants to say something at half time. And we're like, oh, gosh. There we go. So Russell comes in, and he's just come off that movie, Mystery Alaska, where he was the ice hockey captain coach. So straight out of the movie set, he starts, he walks around, up and down.
And it's 30-0 at half time.
Yeah.
So you're in no.
Look at the head down, and then he goes, "Repeat after me. Power." Like really loud, and we're like going. And Russell's gone, "Say it louder. Power." So we've gone, "Power." And then he said about 3 or 4 more words, strength, speed. Now go out there and get him. So, you know what? It is amazing. It was.
True.
Yeah.
What was the end score?
We lost 60-0.
That's awesome.
It was horrible.
What was his speech at the end of the game?
He wasn't there.
He'd bolted.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome, mate. What do the Tigers need to do over the next couple of seasons? Are they on the right track?
I think so. I think the last 4 games they've showed that things
they come good at the wrong time, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? They've lost some of their players. There's 2 more. But I see positive stuff there. I think Ivan's a good guy, so I think he'll do a good job. And
his son would be nice to have in an orange and black jumper.
Yeah, well, hopefully the board get their act together. And, obviously it's hard because you've got 2 guys that are Tigers and the rest are all West side. So West have the money. So if they can work that out, that certainly help as well.
Got it. Mate, I want to thanks for your chat today, for your time today. It's been a really good, fun chat.
Yeah,
I'd love for you, if you wouldn't mind, my uncle Dennis is he bleeds orange, and if you could say g'day to Dennis, it'd make his whole life.
Dennis, g'day, buddy. Go the Tigers. I hope they certainly come back strong for you in the next couple of years, and let's hope we see the Tigers get in the premiership soon. But all the best, buddy.
Thanks, mate, and thanks for your time today. It's been awesome.
Thanks, mate.
Good on you, mate.
Cheers, bud.